In cooperation of our partners in this difficult and intensive search. Whilst search operations are ongoing, we continue to focus our efforts on caring for the families. In Cabinet this morning, we discussed the importance of continuing to support the relatives of the passengers and the crew. On Monday, the Prime Minister announced that based on new data analysis, Inmarsat and the AAIB had concluded that MH370 flew along the southern corridor and that its last position was in the middle of the Indian Ocean, west of Perth. On Tuesday, I confirmed that further study of this data will be undertaken to attempt to determine the final position of the aircraft. The Malaysian investigation team set up an international working group comprising of agencies with expertise in satellite communications and aircraft performance to take this work forward. The international working group included representatives from the UK, namely Inmarsat, AAIB, and Rolls-Royce. From China, namely CAAC and AAID, and from the US, namely NTSB, FAA, and Boeing, as well as the relevant Malaysian authorities. The group has been working to refine the Inmarsat data and to analyze it, together with other information, including radar data and aircraft performance assumptions, to narrow further the search area. Information which had already been examined by the investigation was re-examined in light of new evidence drawn from the Inmarsat data analysis. In addition, international partners who continue to process data in their home countries, as well as in the international working group, have further refined existing data. They have also come up with new technical information, for example, on aircraft performance. Yesterday, this process yielded new results, which indicated that MH370 flew at a higher speed than previously thought, which in turn means it used more fuel and could not travel as far. This information was passed to RCC Australia by the NTSB to help further refine and narrow the search area. The Australian authorities have indicated that they have shifted the search area approximately 1,100 kilometers to the northeast. Because of ocean drift, this new search area could still be consistent with the potential objects identified by various satellite images over the past week. This work is ongoing, and we can expect further refinements. As the Australian authorities indicated this morning, this is standard practice in a search operation. It is a process of continually refining data, which in turn further narrows the search area. With each step, we get closer to the understanding MH370's flight path. Searches must be conducted on the best information available at the time, and in the search for MH370, we have consistently followed the evidence and acted on credible leads. Our search and rescue efforts have been directed by verified and corroborated information, and this latest refinement of the search area is no different. Last night, Japanese authorities announced they had satellite images which showed a number of floating objects approximately 2,500 kilometers southwest of Perth. Early this morning, we received separate satellite imagery from the Thai authorities, which also showed potential objects. These new satellite images joined those released by Australia, by China, by France, and Malaysia, all of which are with RCC Australia. The range of potential objects and the difficulty in re-identifying them shows just how complex this investigation is. We remain grateful to all our partners for continuing to assist in the search operations. Ladies and gentlemen, the new search area, approximately 1,680 kilometers west of Perth, remains in the Australian area of responsibility. Australia continues to lead the search efforts in this new area, and the Australian Maritime Safety Authority gave a comprehensive operational update earlier today. As more information emerges, they will be issuing frequent operational updates, including on assets deployment. I would like to echo their statements that the new search area, although more focused than before, remains considerable. and that the search conditions, although easier than before, remain challenging. For the families of those on board, we pray that further processing of data and further progress in the search itself brings us closer to finding MH370. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for Q&A session, we will start from this side, please.
Refine and narrow were the words echoed in the news conference.
Please, could you stand up?
The search remains considerable and challenging, according to the acting Malaysian Transport Minister. The authorities acting on credible leads from Australia.
Mereka beranggapan diorang tak percaya sangat, mungkin diorang tak percaya dengan kredibiliti Malaysia boleh datang.
Another crackdown on a social networking site in Turkey after YouTube is banned over leaked government recordings. Group accused of plundering street art are putting on London exhibition called Stealing Banksy. Video website YouTube has been blocked in Turkey because of a recording described by the Prime Minister as villainous. Recep Tayyip Erdogan was describing a voice recording of senior officials in government talking about a potential military operation in Syria. The audio uploaded onto YouTube has caused a national security issue, according to a spokesman from the Prime Minister's office. The Turkish government is in talks with YouTube and the ban may be lifted if the audio in question is removed from the site. Blocking access to YouTube comes a week after Erdogan criticised social networking sites, claiming they contain all sorts of lies.